Good evening, everybody. And what a long time since I was last on screen. Let me just refresh the page so that I can see the comments as they come in. Hang on, let's get going here. Wait a minute. Let's just refresh the page. And it's been a long time. Hi, Leanne. A long time since I was last on broadcast. Oh, long time no see, Leanne. Hello, Janet. Long time no see. Hi, Karen. Sorry, just going to sort up this. So, sorry I'm late. Hi, Elaine. Sorry I'm late. I was about to go live. Hi, Carol. About to go live at 10. I was going to be on time and my daughter rang me. So, sorry, I had to just catch up with my daughter. I've been away with her. Needed to let her know that I was back safely. Filled her in quickly on the shenanigans of my journey home, which I will tell you about shortly, and then she was just filling me in on what the children have been doing today. Hi, Carrie Ann. So I last broadcast more than a week ago, and you know what? I've come back. I've been away, and I've come back with a stinky old cold. Don't know where that's come from, and I keep sneezing, so you'll have to forgive me. I don't know why I'm sneezing so much, but there you go. So it's very, very warm here in my flat. I've got the door open. I've got a French door behind me, which is a balcony but doesn't go anywhere. It's one of those, just a door that opens but nowhere to go. And I've got dormer windows open. It is so hot. But it's been so hot all day, and I've been travelling in less than perfect conditions. So I have been, I've been in Devon this week, but I haven't been in Devon all the time I've been away. I think I broadcast probably last Monday or Tuesday, or maybe even Sunday night last week, more than a week ago, because I went on Wednesday of last week. I went up to London. Excuse me, I'm just going to have a drink. I've got some ice cold drink here. That should try and keep me refreshed. So last week, I went up to London on Wednesday, up to my daughter's house. My twin granddaughters left primary school last Friday, and they had end of term activities. Some that I went to see, some that Mummy was going to see, and I was going to babysit the little ones. My grandson left nursery school and moving on to big school, so it's all change in their household. So I had a few days in London, in West London, the area I grew up in, and we had some fun time then. And then on Saturday, we all piled into the car and off we went to Devon. And we've been down in Devon. We've had a wonderful time. Hi, Jeff. Nice to see you. So we've been in Devon in a caravan. Hi, Tony. Me, my daughter, and her four children. Ranging twins of 11, 8-year-old and a 4-year-old. So Granny's come home for a rest now because it's full on with 4 children. Anyway, so I was down in Devon. Now, 2 of my lovely friends here that I only knew through Facebook until the other day, Leanne and what part? I was in Exmouth. I've been in Exmouth at the caravan at Devon Cliffs Caravan Park. Anyway, it was lovely, and as I say, up until Monday, I only knew Janet and Leanne, who are Facebook. They come into my broadcast on a regular basis, and I only knew them as Facebook friends. But they live in Devon, so as I was going to be in Devon, it was too much of a. It was so lovely to meet up. See, so they knew who they were meeting because they see me on live stream, but they don't have their pictures on Facebook. So I didn't know who I was meeting other than we'd been friends. We'd been friends on Facebook. I mean, I didn't immediately realise that Leanne and Janet were mother and daughter straight away, but they came into my broadcast a lot, and then one day it became apparent that they were mother and daughter. But when I was trying to establish when they'd actually started watching my broadcast, it was some of the carnivals last year. They started watching on Isle of Wight live, my my live stream page that I do for the island, and they'd started watching there. And of course, we're just starting the new carnival season again, so that must be nearly a year round if it was the beginning of the carnival season, because we start now and we go through till September. So this week while I was in Devon, I missed the Newport Carnival, so obviously I can't be in two places. I need a team to be able to live stream in more than one place. So I missed Newport Carnival, and this afternoon it was Sandown Children's Carnival. But tomorrow night it is Sandown Main Carnival. So God willing, I will be out in Sandown. If I'm not too exhausted, what I'll do is get to, when I get to bed, not too late, and I'll lie in, and I'll have a lie in the morning. Lying in is not a great, there's not a great opportunity to do that when you've got young children around. And so I have had the young, mind you, I didn't have to get up all the time. Tomorrow night, I'm not sure, Carol. Let's see if I can find out. Let's see if I can find that. I haven't even looked yet. I have got a schedule of the times, but let's see if we can see what time the carnival is. I will put it, wait a minute, let's see. Sandown Carnival, here we are. Let's have a look and see if it gives us the time here. Because I will put it on my Isle of Wight live page. Let's have a look. Here we are, main events. Wait a minute. Sure, main carnival, read more. Here we go. Let's have a look. Main carnival. This year's main carnival takes place on Saturday the 28th of July. Assemble the carnival. The carnival assembles at 5 p.m. The judging is at 6 p.m. and the parade leaves at 7 p.m. Hi, Matt. And let's see if I can tell you the carnival route. I've got to find it because I've got to follow it, obviously. So hang on, let's see. Oh, there's actually entertainment going on during the day. There's the Rockefellers between 12 and 2 in Eastern Gardens near the Sundial Cafe, and it's free to attend. At 2 to 3, there's the White Bells, who are Morris dancers by the looks of it. 3 to 5, Derek Sandy's singing. Now, I know, Karen, I missed a great Pride. I was, but when I was offered the opportunity to be on holiday with my family or stay in Ryde and record Pride, I'm afraid family wins every time on that one. So I know, and I need somebody to take over when I'm not live streaming. There was Zoe Thompson did live stream on behalf of the Ryde Business Association, so I did see the parade, and I will share it on my Isle of Wight page. But this is the trouble, I'm only one person. I can't be everywhere. I've got to hi Joanne. Hi. Yeah, it was good. I think there were 15,000 people in Ryde, so I believe. Excuse me. So anyway, I will be, let me show you, I will be recording on, let me give you the page that I will be recording on. Whoops. isleofwight.live is where I will be recording tomorrow night. That's where I do all my Isle of Wight stuff. Hang on, let's get the copy. Let's drop it in. Oh, so hot. Wait a minute, getting notifications in from my niece. I was just talking to my niece just now, and she's going to be over for the weekend, and she just sent me a message. Hang on, let's drop in. So there we go. If I drop it here, that's where the parades will all be. Yes, so I did see, I was following on social media as much as I could in between all the activities with the children. So as I say, we went down to the caravan park, and I have watched the children swim, and I'm a very good minder of the bags. I'm the great person to dump all the bags down on, and then mummy can go in the pool with them, and I just watch. My daughter owns a caravan, and so they were able to use the owner's there's an owner's pool, which is great, so that's not so busy as the main pool, so we did that. And each time we went, I did manage to find a little bit of shade. But anyway, as I say, on Tuesday I met Leanne and Janet, and it was like we knew each other. Hi Ian, how's it going? I believe you're away, aren't you? Ian Gregory here does lots and lots of fundraising for charity. And I believe you're abroad, aren't you, Ian, or are you back now? I have been watching your activities while I've been on my holiday with my grandchildren, trying to catch up with everything. So, you know, but hi, Keith. Nice to see Keith there. Everybody coming in. So, anyway, as I say, it was lovely to meet up with Leanne and Janet. Leanne had a 21st birthday. I made a little knitted present for her because, you know, knitting is what I do. They gave me a lovely present, and I haven't even got it to show you. It's down still in my luggage. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. Oh, sorry. Oh dear, I don't know where this cold's come from. I go on holiday, and a beautiful holiday I've had. Come back all sneezy, but I'm not quite sure what that's about. Anyway. So, yeah, so I've got a lovely pink shiny pencil case that Janet and Leanne gave me as a little present. So we caught up and we were like old friends that had known each other for years, but that was really nice. I love it when I've got Facebook friends that I actually meet after a long time of being Facebook friends. So that was really, really lovely. And what was so nice was they knew the caravan park where I was staying because they've holidayed there year after year after year. And so when it was placed to somewhere... yeah, well done, Carol. Carol's raised, sorry, she's just mentioning here, she's raised £400 so far by having her head shaved. So that's good. Carol, have you got a picture that you can show me? Send me a message in Messenger of a picture. I'm not sure whether I've seen it. I've tried to keep up with everybody's goings on, but you're in the UK. Ride to London today. Race ride London 100 Olympic London. Ride home. Money. Oh yes, all for prostate cancer. Ian's doing a fantastic job raising a lot of money for prostate cancer. Ian, let us know how much you've raised so far. I know I went and met Ian and had a good chat with him one day and did an interview with him while he was riding on a bike and learning more about, and actually I met him when he wasn't riding on a bike as well, him and his wife, but he does a lot of riding. Sometimes it's static riding, you know, at a venue. Sometimes it's actually riding around, but doing a fantastic job for prostate cancer. Susie of Easy Way, she's been doing a lot of fundraising for different charities, and I know next month hers is for prostate cancer. This last month it was for breast cancer. The month before it was for Alzheimer's Society. Lots of good work going on with lots of people here on the island. Over the three years, £10,000. Ian, that's fantastic. Absolutely. So if anybody feels like being a bit generous there, look, there's Ian's put the hang on, let me just close that. Oops, Carol's sending me her picture. Sorry, I asked her to send me a picture, and as she sent her picture, I couldn't read what I was. So thank you. I will share that on the page later, Carol. I don't think we can share pictures in the comments here, but once I finish the live stream, I will share that picture out. So and Carol is raising money for the hospice, and as I say, Ian's doing it for prostate cancer. There's so much good work going on around this island and beyond the island. Of course, we've got people on here who are not just on the island. So Ian's link, he put his link in there. Whoops, sorry, I've just dropped my pen down here. So, you know, the more we can share the news, even if you can't donate, if you can share the links and let everybody know, that's great. There will be another link I want you to share, and I don't know if I've got it. I might put it on tomorrow's broadcast because I'm not quite sure where it is now, but the other link that I do want you to all look at is that going back to the carnivals, because I was talking about the carnivals just now, there's a competition to vote. Hi, Shania. Oh, Shania might know where the link is. Shania, do you know where the link is? There's a competition to vote for your favourite carnival, and Ride is in the running. And that's across the UK. I don't know if you can find the link, Shania. You may know where it is, you may not. Shania is very well established with the Ventnor Carnival. She and her dad do a lot on the event there on the Ventnor Carnival Committee, and her dad drives the carnival float usually. So I'm looking forward to catching up with them. And So what we want to do is make sure that Ride comes out top in the UK. Hi Sarah, nice to see you. Long time no see. I am back in Ride. Hopefully catch up with you. Sarah and I know each other from meeting on the bus in Ride, but I haven't seen Sarah for a long time, and I've been away, of course, for about 10 days now. So it's nice for everybody to be saying hello to each other here in the broadcast. Anyway, so lots of good works going on, lots of carnivals. None of it good. You did miss me. I'm glad you missed me. Anyway, I thought when I started out my journey back home today, a lot's happened. We must catch up for coffee, Sarah, very soon. But hi Maxine, when I set off this morning from Exmouth, I was in Exmouth, and my daughter ran me to the station. And we were a bit tight on time. I cut it a bit fine. I was a bit slow packing up. Anyway, she got me there in plenty of time. You know, I had about 10 minutes spare. So that was spare time. So I was well in time on the Exmouth train. So I had to go from Exmouth to Exeter and change at Exeter. Yes, Nathan, I hopefully will be able to live stream your event. I need to know the date. As soon as you've got the date, let me have it. I'll put it on my calendar. So anyway, there I was with my lilac lil, which is my trolley, which is I use as luggage because it's easy. It's like a pram. But then I got a big bag on top of it, a bag hanging off it, a picnic bag, and my handbag. So always loaded as ever. But of course, I went on holiday. I took a lot of wool. I knit all the time, don't I? And also I've got granddaughters learning to knit, so I got knitting wool and knitting books and all sorts of things. Very little, clothes or anything. Mostly things to do with the children. And so, hi Sarah. And so I'm actually delighted because I've come back. And I've come back leaving 2 of the 3 granddaughters. I've got 3 granddaughters and a grandson. 3 of the granddaughters, they all learning to knit. 2 of them have become addicted this week. And I just suddenly realised I've been teaching them in the past to knit. But of course, normally when I go to see them, I go in the week and they are in school. So there's not a lot of time if we have to do homework or we have to do brownies or guides or all those sort of things and all the activities they do. There's never, lovely, all the thumbs up, thank you. There's never much time to help them with the knitting. So although we started it, not a lot of progress was made. So anyway, I said to them, because I was with them before we went away, hi Georgie, hi Sarah, why don't you bring your knitting needles? So they brought their knitting needles. One of them couldn't find hers, so I'd always got some spare knitting needles because, never let it be said that I've never got needles on me, or plenty of needles. So anyway, we all had our knitting needles. Now, one of my projects while I was away was to knit some more fruit and veg, because I'd been tasked with knitting some either fruit or veg. My son and his fiance, were coming to the caravan on Wednesday, so we overlapped Wednesday and Thursday, and then I've come away, they're still there, and then they go home on Sunday. And my future daughter-in-law's mother has a friend who runs they run a kitchen showroom, so designing people's kitchens, and they'd seen my knitted food online, or they'd heard about it, and they wanted some to go in their kitchen showroom. So I thought, wow, if I'm seeing Toby and Cheryl, they live in Manchester, so I think if I'm seeing them, I really need to give the stuff to them. It will save all the postage, because the postage can soon mount up on these things. So there was I knitting fruit and veg. I did I'd taken my Carmen Miranda hat, the one that I won a gold certificate for in the county show. It was all full of fruit and veg. I'd taken it with me because I thought, if I don't have time to finish knitting, enough stuff for them to take, I'll just dismantle the hat. Now, I hope Karen Connolly's not watching, because she wants to borrow the hat later in the year. Well, I've taken a picture of the hat, and I'm going to reconstruct the hat, because that's what we did. We had to cut off apples and oranges and pears and things off that today, so that I could leave them for Toby and Cheryl to take back to the people who want them. So I will reconstruct the hat because I know Karen wants to wear it later in the year. So it looks sadly depleted at the moment. But as I say, I did you know, we did complete the order for you know, for going back to Manchester. So I will be knitting. So I was knitting. I knitted a banana. That's right. They took the banana I knitted an apple, and then they cut the rest off that had to go. They decided they didn't want the mushrooms. They were going to go with fruit rather than veg. So I knitted some mushrooms yesterday, but they'll come in for something else. You know, like you know, you knit. You know, I just knit a few odd mushrooms. I was doing that while the children were all out yesterday. I stayed in while everybody went out. I was trying to cool down. I don't know, Carol, about... I would imagine you can't take knitting needles on a plane. I would imagine they would see them as a dangerous implement. Yes, I think you're right. But I wasn't flying. I was only on a train. I've been waiting for bus drivers to tell me that I can't knit on the bus. It's, you know, it might be dangerous. But anyway, while I can, while nobody's stopping me, I've been doing that sort of, you know, lots of knitting. But what I'm delighted now about is because I was away with the girls and they saw me knitting a lot while I was away with them, they said they wanted to do more knitting. And of course I got loads of wool in my bag, and they were diving in my bag and finding lovely wool. And so the 8-year-old, she started a little scarf for her teddy, because that's always a good place to start when you're learning knitting. So she knitted some white, and then she knitted some pink. I'd got a lovely ball of pink that changes colour, has different colours through the wool as it goes, as you knit it. And she was fascinated with this pink. So she'd used the pink, and then she was going to do brown. She was going to do it like a Neapolitan scarf. But then she saw some blue in my bag that's multicoloured through the wall of wool. So as you knit it up, it makes a lovely pattern. And she said, "Oh, look, it's bubblegum blue to start with." Anyway, so she carried on with that. And the 11-year-old, who's got quite a flair, has really started quite a flair for knitting. She decided she wanted to knit a donut, and so I let her loose on the right coloured donut. So she made the donut, and then she had to do the icing. Well, of course, I was coming away to go on the train, and in my purse I always keep a little pair of scissors and a couple of those blunt-ended needles that you sew the knitting up with. Always keep 2 of those in my purse. Anyway, I thought, it'd be really mean if I come away and take my needles with me and she can't sew up her donut. So I let her have one of my needles. I can always get some more. I'll go and see Lou at Stitching Elmer's. And talking of Lou and Stitching Elmer's, Leanne and Janet, who are in the broadcast, they heard me recommending Lou and Stitching Elmer's. Lovely, well, it's a fabric shop, it sells wool, it's haberdashery, all those sort of things. A lovely, I'll do a live stream around it one day in the next week. I'll go and live stream it so you can see. So they got rows and rows of fantastic fabric. They've got wool, they've got all sorts of things. Yes, I know. And Leanne's saying another order from him today. I was talking to him online earlier, and I told him that I had seen the bag that Leanne knitted with the fabric. That's it. With the fabric that they bought. Sorry. Good time to knit when you're on national coach. Yes, that's it. Wherever, buses and coaches, anywhere where you're sitting quietly. But today, I'll tell you, in a minute, I'll get onto my journey home and I'll tell you why I didn't knit on the way home. So Janet and Leanne have ordered fabric from Lou because I put them in touch with each other. Hi, Ian. And they've made a lovely bag. They wanted a pattern for a bag and they wanted some fabric. And I've seen that and I've taken pictures of the bag. I will put this all up later, and they then have done another order. Sorry, that's a message coming in from some of the WhatsApp messages are coming down. Hi, Susan. Yes, so what was I saying? Lost it. Yes, so Lou was delighted to see that Leanne and Janet had made up the fabric, and now they've done another order with him. So that's not bad, is it? They call me the connection queen. Janet and Leanne live in Devon. Lou runs his shop here on the Isle of Wight, and they've ordered from here, and now they've done their second order from here as well, which is fantastic news. So anyway, back to my journey. So as I was leaving the caravan this morning, my daughter said, did any of the children want to come and see Granny off? She's got 4 children. So my son and his girlfriend were staying behind at the caravan. And so the 2 knitters came in the car. And it was so interesting because they were in the car and they were knitting, just like Granny. They took their knitting and they knitted on the journey to the train station. And, you know, I am actually so thrilled with them because they have, that when we were away and they first started doing some knitting while we were away, they were panicking. They said, oh, I've dropped a stitch, or oh, it's getting wider, you know, and that's what always happens when anybody ever starts to knit. You drop stitches, you know, you panic, and then the knitting gets wider and wider. My sister, I always laugh about my sister. She never did take to knitting, but we always had this laugh about her, joke about her knitting going like this. I mean, sometimes you want your knitting to go like that. Sometimes it just goes like that because you're just learning. Anyway, what I said to the grandchildren is, don't panic, just keep going, just keep practice. Granny used to drop stitches, and even now I drop stitches sometimes, but I know how to pick them up. And so they just carried on, and they were dedicated, and they get going, and they had some pretty good results. So I was pretty pleased with them. And when I got home, I was delighted because I'd sent off for some more patterns, and they had arrived. They had arrived when I got back. So I've got knitted flowers, let's drop them down. Knitted tea party. Look, I think one of my granddaughters would love to knit some of those things. More knitted tea party stuff. She had made some sandwiches this week. She'd made a donut. And I think she'll love some of these things. And I'm so excited to see them doing it because my daughter missed out. We missed a generation. She didn't take to it, but the children did. Then I've got, oh look, more knitted greens. So I've got more patterns. Some of these I've already got and some of them I haven't. So, you know, there's more fruit and veg there. And these were bargains. These were only £1 each, these patterns. And I was delighted. This is a rag to riches. This is Cinderella. And then she turns up the other way. You turn the doll inside out. No, you start with this doll. You know, that's the rag. So this is the ball gown. And she turns her on the other way. So it's a doll that has a head either end. And I don't know if it shows you. Yes, it does show you on the back of the pattern. Can you see that it's a double-sided doll? I don't know if you can see. So these are all now in my knitting collection. What have we got? Sporting Heroes. Oh, and I must tell you, I was talking to my daughter. I was late coming on the broadcast because my daughter rang just at 10 o'clock. Just as I was about to go live. And I was talking about the donut, and she said, you loved nude. Nude? As in nudie knits. We'll catch you later. Talk soon. Yeah, okay. Bye, Sarah. See you soon. Let's catch up for coffee this week. Nudie knits. Yes, absolutely. The nudie knits. I'll get the nudie knits book out for another broadcast. I haven't got it here now. But it is so funny, and it's full of double entendre. You know, it is quite fun, but I haven't knitted any of them yet, but I expect somebody will task me to do that soon. Look at these little kimono ladies. Look, they look like fun. And then, what's this one? Oh, look, bags of flowers. So there's handbags with flowers on, and there's purses with flowers on. So there we are. Yes, you laughed so much. I laugh. I think anybody who hasn't seen the nudie knits, you need to Google it. I'll find the link in a minute. It's so funny. And then look at this. Russian style stacking dolls. So they're knitted, but they stack inside each other. So that's lots of fun. So I shall have a go at that some stage. And I will tell you about my journey in a minute. And then fast food fun. So chips, fish and chips and burgers and pizzas and milkshakes and chips, hot dogs, and rise and shine. So this is all wake up and smell the coffee with a knitted breakfast. Look, there we are, whole knitted breakfast there. And what else have we got here? Oh, look, a piggy bank and a novelty safe. I thought that was a bit of fun. you know. So this was a whole set of patterns I thought I'd just treat myself to. And then, shh, the C word. Look, Christmas. Christmas. But we'll put that one down quickly because Christmas is a little while away. So anyway, I've just thrown all those on the floor, but I'll pick them up in a minute. Usually I have a little table here to put all my props on, but I haven't done it. Let's find the nudie knits just for fun. Let me give you the link to that, because it is such fun and it will make you laugh. Here we are. Let's which one shall I? Let's do the abominable snowman, which is not very appropriate for boiling. Yeah, the vicar was funny. Maybe you can knit. I've got some of the patterns. I haven't got them all. Wait a minute. Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I didn't mean to make the sound go. Wait a minute. Oh, hang on.
We came here to stay in touch.
Oh, no. What am I doing? Stop. No, hang on. I'll find it for you. Here we go. This is part of the nudie knits. Here we are. Let you see this. I don't know which clip I put on the other day, but that is the nudie knits link, and it is hilarious. If you hi Julian. There we are. So that's the nudie knits, the abominable snowman. Not very appropriate for a boiling hot summer's day, but might cool you down a bit, but lots and lots of fun. So anyway, I did not knit on my way home. Normally you will see me knit everywhere, but today my journey was quite challenging. As I say, my daughter got me to Exmouth in time. I had about a few minutes spare, but well, actually I had almost 10 minutes spare, I think. So that's a long time when you train. Anyway, got on the train, had to change at Exeter. Get off the train at Exeter, the Exmouth train at Exeter, and I asked the guard, now, which platform do I need? Because there I have to get in a lift and go up and over the other side because I have all my luggage, so I have to do that. And he said, your train's been cancelled. I said, all right, okay. This is not uncommon when I travel. But what I have found is if I get delayed more than 15 minutes, I get a refund. So, there's every cloud has a silver lining. I wasn't in a panic to get home. I live on my own. There's nobody here waiting for me. So it wasn't a major issue. So, okay, right. We're at Exeter. So I decided I'd go off to, the little girl's room, did what I had to do, came out of there. And the guy said, oh, your train might be running. By which time there's only a few minutes now to get up in the lift and over the other side of the platform. So I better get over there quickly, get over the other side of the platform. This train has been cancelled. Hang on a minute, you just said it was cancelled, then you said it was running, and then you said it was cancelled. Oh, and now it's running again. So we had to do all these notices going, it's cancelled, it's running, it's cancelled, it's running. My goodness, in this day and age when they can send men to the moon, why can't they get the information right about whether a train is running or not? Anyway, then eventually a lady came along, a member of the station staff. She came along and she said, oh, it's just coming. It'll be here in a few minutes. It is delayed 5 minutes, but it's coming. So she walked up the platform and then an announcement said this train is cancelled again. So, by this, some people had actually gone out of the station because they thought they had an hour to wait. That happens all the time at Exeter, does it? Oh, right. Okay. Well, anyway, so this is what was going on, and they don't tell the truth either. Sometimes they're not telling the truth. Actually, tell the truth. Be honest with the customers as to why the things are not running. People would be far more understanding. What I do is just decide to turn it into an adventure for my live streams, because there's no point in ranting about it. I was coming home. I was just coming home. I wasn't here. Had to be here by any particular time, and so when I was on when I finally got on that train, I like to sit in where the disabled areas, because I have my Lilac Lil that's like my support. It's a trolley, but it helps me walk. So I go in the disabled area because there's usually a bit more space to put these things. Mistake number one, thinking there was going to be space on the train I did get Lilac Lil in, but there was no seat in that bit of the carriage for me because people were already there. But now here we go again. Why is it that Lynn always ends up sitting outside the toilet? I do have a bit of toilet history here. Every time I get on a train, I'm sitting right by the toilet. So there was one of these little, in that little bit of corridor by the toilet, so I had the carriage here. I put Lily in the carriage there. There were people there. I was just the other side, and there was one of these little fold-up seats. So I sat on it. But every time we got to, how long did I wait? Actually, it was only, in the end, it was only 5 minutes after it's a scheduled time. But they'd had all this, no, it's going to be, it's not going to be, it is going to be, it's not going to be. So it was actually, it should have been 12:30, and it came in at 12:35. And so then we had to go and we had to change at Salisbury, and then Salisbury to Portsmouth. So so I sat on this little pop-up seat just outside the carriage door, but right by the toilets. But at least this time, unlike a previous time, on a previous train, I was sitting by the toilet and the toilet doors kept opening and the toilets were blocked, and it wasn't a very pleasant experience. But I'm not supposed to stand. My doctors told me not to stand for a long time. So there was a seat, so I sat on it. Fortunately, the toilet doors didn't keep doing this. But every time we got to a station and somebody wanted to get off, I had to stand up and get out of the way. Then I had to sit down again quick. So anyway, I was sitting on this little seat. Then eventually, a lady from just inside the carriage, one of the ladies of the two ladies sitting there, I thought they were together, but they obviously weren't. They just made friends on the train. So one of them got off, and I went and sat there. And I had a lovely conversation with Pauline, and she said she was going to watch the broadcast tonight. I don't know whether she's in here or not. If you are in here, Pauline, identify yourself and let me know, because we're not Facebook friends, so it won't tell me if she's here. But we had a lovely chat, and, you know, I decided by this time I was not getting knitting out. There were far too many people on the train. So, actually, before I moved into the other bit and the other lady got off, we had a lady with a disabled child. So not a small pushchair, a bigger pushchair, and a disabled child. And there was nowhere for her to go. They are just not allowing they just haven't got it right as a business. You know, people need to get on with wheelchairs. They need to get on with pushchairs. They need to get on with buggies with disabled children. What is going on? You know, why aren't they actually looking after their customers? It's so bad. But it didn't stop there. Because that lady, actually, she didn't mind. She was standing, and she was fine, but she was standing there with, you know, she had to block the corridor because there was nowhere else for her to go. And so eventually she got off at Honiton. We had quite a chat. Then she got off at Honiton, and then I moved. This other lady went, and I went and sat on this chair and having a lovely chat with Pauline. And then we got. That's right. We eventually got as far as Salisbury, and we had to get off at Salisbury. And they told us on the train, get off at Salisbury, but you will get on the train on the same platform. Wrong. That wasn't right. Don't get on the same train on the same platform, because that was not right. That was a fib. But before that, I've forgotten something else that happened on the train before we got off at Salisbury. A chap got on with his child, and he was taking his child back. I presume it was an arrangement where mummy has the child, but daddy has the child in half term or something like that. I think that was that sort of arrangement. Lovely daddy with his child, and they were just alongside, across the corridor across the aisle from me. And the guard came through and asked for the tickets. So they just want to make money. They really do. So the guard came along for the tickets. So this guy, I show my ticket, and that's fine. This guy shows his ticket, and the guard wasn't happy. Now, this guy had a ticket on his phone, not a printed ticket. He was obviously part of the eco world who prefers not to print off, just to show it on his phone. Now, he apparently had used this on his journey, going up and down, and had shown it already 5 times, when she decided it wasn't good enough, this ticket. Even though it had got a scan area that you could scan it, she didn't have a scanner. So the problem was with her, not with him, but she was making out the problem to be with him, and he needed a printed ticket. No, he didn't need a printed ticket. That's the whole idea of having them that you can show on your smartphone. So anyway, he didn't lose his temper, fortunately. He kept calm and she went. And he thought, why should he have to get off the train and go and get a printed ticket just because she hadn't got a scanner? Anyway, so I said, oh, did he tweet? Was he on Twitter? And he said, no, he wasn't. I said, well, actually, in that case, then I shall tweet. By this, we weren't on South Western, we were on the Great Western Railway at this point. This part is Great Western. So I looked up Great Western Railway. I found, Great Western Railway, their help service, 24/7. But I don't know which 24/7 it was, because it certainly wasn't today's 24/7. I tweeted to them at, mid-afternoon. Probably about 2 o'clock. 2:30, somewhere like that. I have not had a response to my Twitter. I typed the tweet, I wrote the tweet. Normally, I teach social media. I help people to show them how to use social media quicker and all that. So I would normally do a voice. I would do a video tweet. So I would actually just record myself saying, hello, Great Western Railway. Did you know there's a bit of a problem here? Not a great... #bad customer experience is what I always put. I don't rant, but I just tell them like it is, because they need to know. And... but I didn't do it as a video. It was too noisy and they might not have heard. And I didn't have my microphone on, and my microphone was in my bag. And I thought, I can't start turning my bag out now because this train is far too busy. So I did it as an ordinary tweet. So I will be following up with Great Western Railway, because that is not okay to say that they've got a 24/7 help service and then they don't help you in that 24/7. So anyway, that guy got off the train. He got on the Salisbury train, but I didn't actually see where he went in the end. Sorry, excuse me. I got off with Pauline. Hi, Leslie. I got off with this new friend, Pauline, and we sat on the platform, and then eventually our train came in, but not on the platform that we were told to stand on. Fortunately, we checked, and it was on the other side of the platform, so we only just across. I didn't have any lifts to go up in this time, so it was just there. So Pauline was queuing at the first door, but because I have Lilac Lil and all my luggage, I asked the guard where the disabled area was, and so I had to run right down the platform to get on there. And as I got on, there were no seats there. There was a little space for Lilac Lil. I thought, oh no, I'm going to have to stand, and I'm not supposed to stand because of my legs. My doctor says I'm not supposed to stand. Anyway, as I got on, a younger girl who was sitting there saw me coming, and she got up and she vacated a seat for me, which was brilliant. So I was able to sit there. And so I didn't see that Pauline again, but I did meet, there was I've got a bit lost with who I met on which train, but I met 2 Paulines today. So when I was sat next to another lady, I said, are you Pauline? She said, no, I'm Pamela. So that was another. So I've lost one of these Paulines somewhere along the line, because so many things were happening and so many people getting on, and these trains were absolutely rammed full, and there was no air conditioning, and I'm sure health and safety has to come into play. I don't know. I was also asking some station staff or some train staff later on the last bit of my journey. I was asking them about the health and safety rules, because on a previous trip, not as hot as today, but I was on a train where there were no working toilets, and I am sure that is not that doesn't meet health and safety, I'm sure. And I know that then if they take the train out of action, people are going to moan because they're not getting the trains. But actually, having a train with no working toilets, and with toilets that are blocked and that, so it's not very hygienic, and when I'm sitting outside the door that keeps opening, of the toilet, that's not good. So anyway, sorry, enough of toilet talk. No, I didn't reserve my seat, Carol. I found that even when I did reserve a seat, people still sit in your seats. And I had an absolute bargain. when I first wanted to know the cost of my journey and I was only doing it one way because I went up to London last week. So I had a train ticket to London and I did that bit of the journey. Then I went in the car with my daughter to Exmouth, and then I only had to get back from Exmouth to the island. And when I first asked at the station how much that was going to cost me, it was going to cost me £54 one way. And last time I did it, I got £54 both ways, for the return. Anyway, I left it. I thought, I'm not paying that. That's not okay. I have a senior rails card. Anyway, so after that, I went back to the station again before I was travelling, and I said, can you find me a good deal from Exmouth to the island? And so I normally book all the way, including the ferry, and all the way back to Ryde Esplanade. Anyway, the only advance fare that the lady could find was from Exmouth to Portsmouth. But she got it for £9.90. So I said, right, book that. We'll have the £9.90 and I'll worry about getting across the water. I'll worry about that bit. So I'd got my £9.90 ticket. So this ticket from Exmouth, mind you, it doesn't matter. I'm still a customer and I'd still paid my money. But also, we were more than 15 minutes late. We lost time. We lost time at Exeter. We lost time before we got to Portsmouth. We got delayed before we got to Portsmouth. If you're more than 15 minutes late, you can claim a refund. And I know I did it last time. I did it on this one before because I was delayed an hour when I went to Exmouth before, and I did get my refund. But I don't know how much I'll get on a refund of £9. It was only a £9.90 ticket, but let's give it a try. I'll tell you. If I'm entitled to it, I'll go for it. After all, I'm a pensioner, don't forget. And it's nice to see whether these things you actually can do it. So I will be going for my refund. But of course, it cost me more to get across the water than it did all the way from Exmouth to Portsmouth. Crazy, isn't it? And then when I got off the train, there was like 3 minutes between the train and the ferry going. So I thought, I've got to buy a ticket. Normally I just come straight off the train and straight into the ferry queue, the fast catamaran queue. But that happened, there was only 3 minutes, but they hadn't started loading the fast cat. It was running late. It was running 10 minutes late. So I went to get a ticket and I said, how much is it? And they quoted me £14 something. Now, when I asked the lady when I was buying my train ticket, she said it was £11 something. So I said to him, what, how come it's that? So he said, I don't know. Anyway, in the end, I paid £11.55. I had to argue the toss about it, but I paid £11.55 to get across the water. I wasn't willing to swim. I'm not a very good swimmer, and I don't know that Lilac Lil would survive it. But anyway, so got on the fast cat. But as we got there, you see, the fast cat was running 10 minutes late. And it was absolutely heaving, absolutely packed. And of course, if you're at the end of the queue, getting onto there, all the luggage spaces and racks have gone by the time you get on. And of course, I've got Lilac Lil and all my bags and, bags and all my stuff. And the lady, I started chatting to another lady. I find friends everywhere I go, always end up with chatting with somebody. And there was a lady there. She said, I could go on this one, but I booked on the one at 22. I said, because sometimes they only run an hour. But it was Friday and I thought, there might be 2 an hour. Anyway, she was on, this was should have gone out at 4:15, went out about 4:25, and the next one was at 20 to 5. So I decided that I would. She decided she was going to have a coffee and get on the one she was supposed to be on. And I said, you know what? I'm going to have a coffee. I'm going to come sit down and have a chat with you. And she wasn't an islander, so she didn't know how it all worked. I said, if we get a coffee, wait till all these people have got on that boat and then go and sit right at the front. We will be the first ones on the next ferry. And that's what we did. And the next ferry was very, very quiet. Not no people, but by comparison, there was hardly anybody on that one. And then, so of course, then I come in to to Ride Esplanade, and then you've got the buses there, and then I just hop on a bus and I come up to the top of Ride. You paid £6.50 single. Was that on Whitelink? Because I asked for a single and they said it was £11.55. I even had a concession. I asked for a single, but actually when I looked online, it did say it was like £11 or something for a single. Thank you, Carol. I shall investigate that, because that it wasn't, you know, £11.55 was a bit naughty. So they said that's what the single was, £11.55. A day return wasn't much more, but I didn't want to do a day return. I was only on one leg. So anyway, I live at the top of town in Ryde. So that, you know, what's great about that is you get off the little train straight into the bus terminal and straight up to the top of town. There was a bus came in almost immediately. Got up to the top of town. Of course, I've got no shopping in, and I don't have a car, but there's a shop at the bottom of my road. But I had a load of luggage, so I didn't want to get much, but I got myself a few bits and some milk so I can have a cup of tea. And of course, just as I was walking up the road, it decided to rain. But you know what? It was only raining a little bit. And you know, I didn't care, because it was so refreshing to have rain. It wasn't even hardly rained at all, and it sort of stopped almost immediately. But I thought, isn't it typical? Just sort of halfway up my road, it started to rain, but it was fine. It was nice to have the cool rain. So I got home, and I've been catching up with posts, I mean, while I've been away, I am a social media manager for certain accounts, and so I keep that up even while I'm away, because I can sit, you know, while the children are in the swimming pool, I can actually do updates, what I need to do, and just carry on with that. And I get inspired by things on holiday, so I do different posts and things while I'm away. In fact, I can remember doing a post, taking a picture of a clock and putting out a post about what time people do things. You know, social media is all about engagement, and I watch and I see people pushing their products all the time. Buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. And you know, it isn't the way to sell. The best way to sell is not to sell. You know, that's what my son and I teach. And so it's all about, I'm up near Greenmount School, Carol. I'm at the top of town, just at the end of, not far from Queen's Road, the top of Queen's Road. So I don't particularly want to identify exactly where I am on here, but you know, towards the top of Queen's Road. And so I get off at the St Vincent stop, actually, and so that was easy. I have about a 10-minute walk home from there. So I have to say, I'm thrilled to be home. I love being with my grandchildren. I have a wonderful time. I do get exhausted. They are very lively children. I wouldn't have it any other way. And we do a lot. When I'm on holiday with them, I'm usually in bed by 10 o'clock. But of course, you know that when I'm not with them, I'm broadcasting at 10, you know, between 10 and 11 usually. And I'm a night owl, but not when I'm with the children. And then, of course, they do get up early. So, you know, I have to cope with the early mornings, which I don't do when I'm home. So we did have rather a lot of shenanigans on that journey. And also, yes, when I got off the train, that's right, when I got off the train at Salisbury, the guy who had the trolley, you know, the drinks trolley that comes up and down the train, he put a ramp down to get his trolley off the train. So, of course, while there's a ramp down, it makes perfect sense for me to drive Lilac Lil down the train. So I get down there, but he stopped the trolley right at the bottom of the ramp. Not very sensible when other people might want to use the ramp. Yeah, keep me young, they do. I don't know, maybe I feel very, no, actually they do keep me young. So this guy, he just stopped the trolley right at the bottom. And I said, oh, excuse me, please. And he was so rude. He didn't even speak to me. He just indicated that I could get round him. He was not going to move his trolley. So I sort of had to do a bit of a pull Lilac Lil round. I did manage to get round, but I just thought, what a rude man. never mind. I said, thank you for your help, and went on my merry way, because I do like to, try and jolly them up. They won't be jollied sometimes, but on the next train, the last train, before I got to Portsmouth, there ended up being 2 people with trolley concessions, and they came in my carriage and they sat down, so they weren't even going through the train. There'd been a girl on one of the trains who got on the train with a baby and her husband, and they had first class tickets, and the first class was further down, but she couldn't get through with the pram because there's not enough space. So I don't know why she didn't get off and walk down the platform and get on the other. Anyway, she got a first class ticket, and it ended up in the crush with everybody. Some people were sitting on the floor, some people were leaning against the wall. It really was it was very, very sweaty too. Lots of hot people, and lots of people generating a lot of heat. But I was questioning these. I was chatting to these staff and saying, about, I was sort of also wondered why there were 2 of them on, but it turned out that one of them, the young lad, had got turned off another train because the train was too full. So they turned off the staff with his trolley, and he had to get on the next train and come back down to Portsmouth with, yes, Carol, but I would have pushed the trolley out of the way, but it was a bit difficult because I was coming down the ramp with my Lilac Lil, and he was right at the bottom. And in order to push his trolley out of the way, I either had to bash it with Lilac Lil, and I don't think it would have moved. Or I had to sort of jump off the ramp and go and move it. So it wasn't. Yes, it sounds easier than it was, but it wasn't. It wasn't easy to do. I just thought he was a very rude man and could do with a few politeness lessons. But I didn't think I'd hang around to try and teach him, because I thought he was not going to be a willing pupil. He was grumpy, but we were all hot and bothered, but we still can get by without being grumpy. Anyway, Mr. Grumpy, let him get on with it. The rest of us were sort of jollying each other along as much as we could. And so these staff, apparently they were on the train on Monday and they were overheating, and their bosses didn't want to know. They didn't want to know. That is just not okay. Richard Branson says, look after your staff and your staff will look after your customers. Now, if the staff are having a job coping, the bosses should really see what they could do to help. I don't know what they could do, but they could have put some. They certainly could be willing to try and willing to have a discussion, but they weren't even willing to have a discussion. And the young lad said he just went off sick because he wasn't well enough to be able to cope. So anyway, I am now back on the island for a while. I am not planning any trips anytime soon at the moment, but you never know. I might suddenly be required to be on duty somewhere, and we'll see how it goes. When I go to London, usually my London trips are not too bad, but it was, it did make for some fun comments and some interesting stuff today, and I'm just thinking whether I missed any of those incidents. Let's have a look. I did. No, it was. Oh, I know. When I have to tell you, my grands. I think I told you my children were knitting. My grandchildren were knitting when I left them, and one of the girls has made a donut. I'm very proud she is of it too, and I'm very proud that she's actually finished a donut without my help. That's fantastic. But apparently, the young man, my 4-year-old grandson, I knitted him a pirate last week because he looked in my book and he said, oh, Granny, I want the pirate. So I said, I'll make it when I'm in London with you. So I made it last week. I made the pirate for him and he was very excited. And the pirate went on holiday with us. Well, apparently the pirate has gone to bed with the donut, but not as a donut. Apparently, it's the pirate's unicycle. He's using it as a unicycle. So the pirate's gone to sleep in little man's bed with his unicycle. So they're having a conversation around that, and that was a lot of fun. So anyway, that's what my daughter told me tonight when she rang me. So I am pleased to be back. I hope you're pleased to have me back. Tomorrow night I won't probably be broadcasting at 10 as here from home, because I will be live streaming Sandown Carnival, and so keep your eye out for that. That will be earlier in the evening, So, and it's not the illuminated carnival, so it yeah, do you know, I thought it was against the law for trains to be overcrowded. A few years back, the government said they would stop it after. Right. Yeah. No, you see, I don't think that people should be allowed to be sitting on the floor. And the thing is, it was very short. The train was only 3 carriages. Why not stick another carriage on the end? Put more carriages on when there are more people. It's not dull. We can, you know, I don't get it. We can send men to the moon, but we cannot work out how to get people on a train. I'm glad you welcomed me back, and Janet, you will be watching. I'm glad to hear, because that's where we first met when I did the live streams of the carnival. Standing with, yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? But that wasn't the worst bit of the journey, I don't think. Well, I can't remember now. I've had so many funny incidents over today, and you know, that I just thought, actually. But I know, but better than last time. Last time when I got back, and I was going on to the Fast Cat, there was a lady with her daughter in a wheelchair. That's right, we'd been on the train in that same area together, and she was in a wheelchair, and they were coming to the island for a holiday. Now, I'm a bit of an ambassador for the island, and I like to make people have a good experience of the island, and I like to tell them about it if I can and welcome them. And of course, Derek Sandy, one of our singers who lives on the island, he does that song, Welcome to the Isle of Wight, but he does it much better than I do. Anyway, when we came on that last journey, and this lady was there with again, it was a very busy line for the Fast Cat. So I just asked, hi, oh, Carol's back again. She's dipped out and back in again. So I went to the White Link desk and said, can she just go through? Because if she got a wheelchair, I felt they should let her go on at the front. I didn't want to go with her. I felt they should let her go on at the front and get into the front and make it easier. And the girl at the White Link desk was so rude to me. She went, oh, go and wait over there and somebody might come and see you. And I thought, you know, welcome to the Isle of Wight. This is the experience of people coming across. And mind you, we were on the Portsmouth side, but that's the first bit of experience of people coming to the island. And I just thought, you're not doing our island any service. So yes, I will be glad to get to bed tonight. I will just take a little time just chilling, but I think I won't be terrible. What I will do is read the county press. I always like to read the county press on a Friday if I can. Last week I missed it because I was in London, so I didn't have a county press. Just like to catch up and see if there's any things I need to know about. So sadly, sometimes the things that I should have live streamed, I only find out about afterwards when they report in the county press. So that's a bit daft. Anyway, I'm going to go now. Too much talking. I shall wear my voice out, and you know, won't be much good for my live stream tomorrow. So hopefully I will give you a very good running commentary. The thing is, when I do the first carnivals of the season, it was rude, yeah. When I do the first carnivals of the season, I don't know what all the floats are, you know, until they've gone past. And some of them, they do tend to have it written on the side of the float. But by the time I've done 2 or 3 carnivals, I can tell that that's Ventnor Queen's carnival coming, and that's the Strollers, and that's Cow's carnival, and that Queen's coming. So I get to know it. And by the time we get to Ryde's carnival, I know them all, because Ryde is the last one. And I will find, and I hope you will look and support. But there's, at the beginning of the broadcast, I mentioned that there's a competition to vote for the best carnival in the country. And at the moment, Ryde is in the lead, and we want to keep it in the lead. I don't know whether I can. I wonder if I can find the link quickly. Don't know if I can. Let's have a quick look, because it was there earlier, but I don't know. I might have to scroll too far back. Let's have a look. Just see. No, the computer's not going very fast. It's a bit slow. Actually, it's had a week off, so it should be fine. It should be playing the game, but it maybe not. So I don't think I can see it. No. What I'll do is I will find it, and I will ask you. We've got till the 21st of August to vote for it. So I would like you all to be, hi Ian, I would like you all to be, and night Janet, I would like you all to vote for, Where will I stand in Sandown? That's a good question, Carol. I'm not sure at the moment. Are you going? If you're going, let me know. I will probably... Last time I got to Sandown early, and in fact there's a lot going on in Sandown tomorrow afternoon. I did read it out, didn't I, earlier? So Derek Sandy's singing between 3 and 5. I may go down in the afternoon and then find a spot. But I think last time I came in, and I came in on a bus just before they stopped the buses, because you know they stop the buses before the carnival. And I got off the bus in the high street in Sandown. Hi Ian, thank you. And nice to be back. And I've missed all of you. I didn't miss Janet and Leanne because I met them in Devon, so that was really rather nice. So I was up opposite the rock on the illuminated carnival. I was opposite the rock shop. On the earlier carnival, I was down at the other end of the high street. So I sat in the bus shelter, so I had a seat because I like to sit down as much as I can. But if you sit down too much, then people get in front of you. So I try to position it so I can do as much good live streaming so you can see most of it. You're going on the train tomorrow. I will go on the bus because I have a free bus pass, so I don't have it costs me to go on the train, so I'll go on there. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you. Message me tomorrow, Carol. We can work out where you're going to be. I've got to decide whether I'm going to go over and do something. If I get up, get my act together, I might go and see the Morris dancers and live stream them and live stream Derek Sandy later on. So I'll let you know. It depends what time I get up in the morning, and I'm going to go and probably have my breakfast in Kivas tomorrow because I haven't been to Kivas for the last almost 2 weeks, and I do like to support them. So that's what I will do first tomorrow. Whether it's actually breakfast or whether it's more brunch, might be more brunch. Anyway, gonna love you and leave you all. Great to be back. Great that you all came in and joined me in the broadcast, and I will see you all again on a broadcast soon, and hopefully you'll come and find me on the Sandown broadcast tomorrow. Bye for now.